fake friends. Listen to Fake Headlines podcast using Stitcher Premium.
Use promo code Fake Headlines for 1 free month.
Listen to some of your favorite shows ad-free with Stitcher Premium like
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend,
My Favorite Murder,
Having Funlessness with Jen Kirkman,
Natch Butte,
Office Ladies,
Prompt and Circumstance,
WTF with Mark Maron,
and so many more.
Plus, you get access to Stitcher Originals, bonus episodes, comedy albums, and more.
Only $4.99 a month or $34.99 for a whole year.
Go to Stitcher.com/premium to sign up today.
Again, use promo code Fake Headlines for 1 month free. Bye. Hello, I'm Tiffany Dillon.
And I'm Kevin Dillon.
And this is Fake Headlines Podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Fake Headlines Podcast, episode number 90.
Hi, welcome.
Hey, friends. We're in a good mood tonight.
Yeah, we just went for a nice long hour walk around our neighborhood.
That's our new thing. That's our new exercise.
Yeah, it's nice out. People can leave their homes again. So that's something that we like to do.
It is fun. And when we can't get outside to walk, there are some videos on Amazon Prime where a lady marches in place across America. So like every half hour or hour episode is her standing in front of the beach in Hawaii, or standing in a field in Montana or somewhere,
or the Las Vegas sign,
or standing in front. Yeah, in the Las Vegas chapter of it, she's just standing in front of the famous Las Vegas sign as tourists are trying to like take pictures. She's just standing there marching in place.
Yeah.
And we think it's designed for like elderly people to exercise. We're not really sure what her target audience is, but her target audience is us because we love it.
It's so silly and fun. Like it's just like if you it's the workout you do when you're like, I don't want to do this right now.
Yeah.
And then you do it, and then by the end you're laughing and giggling because it's so silly.
It's like when they have church on television. It's like you don't necessarily want to have to get up and go to church, but you know you got to go to church. It's the same thing. It's like we don't want to go outside and exercise, but you know you got to exercise. So there's exercise for shut-ins.
Old and young.
But we love it. So we'll march around in place and make complete fools of ourselves. And I think it's... it
ends up being more of like a ridiculous dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's usually us just goofing off.
And we don't take that same approach when we're outside. We're much more professional outside when we walk.
Yeah, we put on visors and windbreakers. And sometimes leg weights,
Yep.
just to like really amp up our game.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't really have, we can't afford weights. So we just tape some books around our legs with gaff tape and walk outside.
Very effective.
Very effective.
Put that on your Pinterest board.
Yeah. DIY weights.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of old books and tape.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we do. So we went for a nice walk around the neighborhood.
And then if you're feeling like Popeye, just grab a couple cans of spinach, wrap them around your arms. There you go. You got some arm weights.
There you go.
Arm weights.
You got some arm weights. You just became... Who did you become right there? You almost became Steve Brule in a weird way.
I forgot about that character.
It's a tinge of Steve Brule to that. Just a tiny tinge. Tiny tinge. But also, when we were walking, we had a funny moment where I thought of a tweet while walking. It happens. You'd think of a random stupid thing. This happens to me throughout the day. My normal thoughts are interrupted with just waste of time. And so I'm like, Tiffany, I got to get my phone out. I need to tweet something. And of course, my wife, being super supportive, doesn't miss a beat and just starts pointing out where there's divots in the sidewalk so I won't trip. Like, she's very good at helping direct me through the neighborhood. So I tweeted this joke that was just, I don't know where it came from. I did not see anything. It came to me. And it's not a great joke, but it's what I thought of. And it was something to the effect of, Tiffany and I want to start riding bikes, but we also want to remain socially distant. So we got one of those 2-person bikes with the seats 6 feet apart. Mm-hmm. It's an all right joke. It's okay. It's not a gut buster. It's not going to go viral or anything, but it's a solid joke,
So then he finished tweeting it, asked me a grammatical question. I was like, yes, this makes sense. And then he was like, all right, cool, I'm going to tweet it. And then he hit tweet.
Put my phone back in my pocket. And then what happened literally 2 seconds later?
I look to my left and I see bicycle wheel. And then I see two people on that bicycle.
A 2-person bike went right by us.
What the hell?
It was the most bizarre thing that's ever happened to us.
I can't even tell you the last time I saw a 2-person bicycle, and I could tell you that it was on television and not in real life.
And it probably was a cartoon. It probably wasn't real people. It was like Porky Pig and Elmer Fudd were in a real pickle.
There's Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny, and they were chasing each other on the same bike.
On the same bike.
I don't know.
Right, exactly. You know, those kinds of slapsticky shenanigans. But yeah, a couple went by on a 2-person bike, and we lost our shit. It was so funny.
So then we spent the rest of the walk saying ridiculous things, like just waiting for it to occur.
And then comically looking around to see if it would happen. Nothing did happen.
No, it was just that one thing.
It was a good time.
Man.
So we're feeling pretty good. We got in our exercise. We did our marching.
Got in some good laughs.
I mean, really, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a great day.
And then we also inherited a new 2-person bicycle because we took that bike from that couple, and we were like, you know what, this is ours. We imagined it to be real.
Give us what we imagined.
And they were like, wow, that's pretty powerful stuff. Here you are. And they gifted it to us. That's the magic of Buffalo, guys.
It is the city of good neighbors for a reason.
Not everyone's a shit stain.
We did beat them up. We should clarify that. We did beat the shit out of them and took their bike. You paint it in a different picture, but I guess the end result is the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how we got there. We got there, is what you're saying.
That's what they usually say.
Oh. Well, folks, this is Fake Headlines Podcast. If you haven't listened before, we talk about walking and assaulting people in the streets, and then we wrap it up. That's not true. We do more than that.
We talk about walking, and we talk about marching, and we talk about... that's it. That's
pretty much...
That's the show.
Those are the two things.
Well, thanks for visiting.
Yep. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. No, we... So what we do here on Fake Headlines Podcast is Tiffany and I have both spent some time this week surfing the internet, as human beings do. And we each came across some strange headlines, some strange articles, some funny articles. And we have one real article in mind. And then along with that, we used our imaginations to come up with 2 bizarre stories to go along with it, some strange headlines. And we're going to recite these headlines to each other. We're going to try to guess which one is an actual real story.
Yeah.
That's the setup.
Yeah.
And then hopefully hilarity will ensue because we both have no idea what we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. I have not seen your headlines. You have not seen my headlines. Mm-hmm. We will now present them. And we'll see what happens. And we hope that this is a fun time for all.
Yeah.
And if it's not, why don't you just stand up and march in place?
Yeah. You're going to find yourself having a good time.
Either way.
Whether you like it or not.
And I believe, Tiffany, my headlines are going first this week. Is that correct?
No. Is that true? It is true.
Tiffany, we discussed this a lot.
It is true. I got myself confused.
All right. Okay.
You know who I am.
I know.
Can I just talk about something real quick? Last night, I gave myself a hair mask. And my hair feels like a new hair.
Are you? It sounds like you were hired by another country to be in an advertisement, and the wording's not quite right. Hello, I'm Tiffany Dillon. I'm here to talk about hair. You know, I wore a hair mask for my hair mask. And
now I have new hair.
Now I have new hair.
But I've never done a hair mask before, and I just can't get over it. Like, I can't stop touching my hair because it feels so soft.
Like, you did wrap your head in plastic last night.
I did, yeah. It was aloe vera and coconut oil, and then I put it in my hair because I dyed my hair purple, so like it's kind of
such a punk.
It's kind of damaged, and so were
the hair.
Both on varying levels, but we're both healing, aren't we? We each wear a mask from time to time. We do our best and we make it by.
Do you think that hair mask could help me? Does it help grow hair? I'm a bit of a deficit.
A bit of a deficit.
But yeah, so Tiffany had her hair filled with coconut
oil and aloe vera.
And then we had this giant roll of plastic that we had furniture wrapped in. And so we wrapped Tiffany's head. We like mummified your head with this stuff, basically.
Don't worry, there were mouth hole. There was
a mouth hole.
There was one mouth hole and 2 nose holes.
Name of my sex tape.
No. But there was, so it was just basically around my head. So I gave myself like a little hat.
You had like you look like you were trying to block like the CIA's radio signals from entering your brain.
Dual purpose.
Yeah.
New hair. No CIA.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on.
No, they don't need to know what's going on in your head.
I just need to share that real quick. I keep touching my hair and I'm like, wow, it feels so nice.
Yeah, must be real nice.
Look, you can treat your beard.
I've been bald for 20 years.
I don't know anything about it.
That's true.
You look great bald.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's all I've ever known.
That's true. And you love me for it, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Where were we?
Yes. So, Fake Headlines podcast, we talk about walking, marching, hair, and that's it.
And lack of it.
Yes.
And hair deficits.
That
really got me. That's very funny.
So, Tiffany, I believe I'm presenting to you my headlines for the week. Is that correct?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my fucking God.
Yeah, go ahead, lovey.
All right, headline number 1. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Headline number 1, a vegan restaurant in North Dakota town staying open 24/7 to accommodate demand. Vegan restaurant in North Dakota town staying open 24/7 to accommodate demand.
Okay.
Headline number 2, Blink 182 to record new album using alien sounds. Blink 182 to record album using alien sounds. And headline number 3, we'll be back in 15 days. Italian prison escapees leave note promising to return. We'll be back in 15 days. Italian prison escapees leave note promising to return.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are absurd.
Well, that's the whole name of the game.
It is. Well, it's fake headlines. At least 2 of them are. You get it. So there's a vegan restaurant in North Dakota.
Yes, and they are staying open 24/7 to accommodate demand. So
I take it that that's not something that happens in North Dakota, things staying open 24/7?
Well, it's a big sort of meat-eating kind of cowboy type area.
Tell me more about North Dakota. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, well, you've come to the right place, Tiffany, because I know everything there is to know about North Dakota.
Well, last week when we recorded, I'm pretty sure I called Africa a country. So
you may have. It's okay.
My brain was like, no, you're not calling it a continent. You're not doing it. Call it a country, you dumb bitch.
I want to be clear. Tiffany was saying this to herself. I was not saying this to her. I just do not want there to be any misconstrued ideas out there. North Dakota, kind of like the more of a middle America, more of a cowboy kind of town. A lot of farms, not a lot of veganism, so to speak.
And just to be clear, North Dakota is the capital of South Dakota, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, right there in Cape Town, North Dakota.
Cape Town, North Dakota, the capital of South Dakota.
It's a little confusing, but that's just the way things happened.
America, am I right?
You can't explain our history. It's very strange, and you don't want to know.
So big eating place.
Yeah, but because of social distancing requirements, this town happens to be the only restaurant in the town. So people are so excited to be able to go out again that this place, even though it may not have the menu that people particularly may be into in that area, it's doing really great right now because it's one of the few places that people can get outside and go outside and sit down inside.
Are the meat-eating restaurants not open?
This town just doesn't have... this just happens to be the one restaurant in this town.
Oh, so it's like the one vegan town in North Dakota.
Apparently so, yeah.
And so people are coming from all over the place to go and eat at this place.
That is also true, and people are just trying it because it's a place that they can go, because it's a place they can go to.
Just to get out.
Just to get out, right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Huh. So if So what kind of meat would they normally serve at a restaurant in North Dakota? Would it be like something exotic, like a moose or a bear or something?
Probably. Or like, what was that thing I ate that one time? A bison burger or something? Remember that one thing I ate that one time?
Yeah.
Think of all the thousands of meals we've shared and pinpoint the exact one I'm referring to.
Oh, that's right. A bison burger after we had just fed a bison with our hands.
Yeah, we went to this place.
What a delight.
We went to this, what was that place called?
Varysburg?
Yeah, it was in Varysburg, New York. It was like the...
Animal
Safari. Hidden Valley Animal Safari. That's what it was.
It's a very, very cool place to go, and you can basically you're in like this kind of like a wagon, like a trolley, not a trolley, no, it's like a tractor that's pulling you around. Yeah, it's a tractor with an open wagon sort of, but it's like set up like a bus. This is very accurate, I'm sure. We were very high when we were there. It was kind of like a bus, but a tractor was pulling it, but there was bison. You never believe it, but I saw a black swan, and it danced across that water. Yeah, you're describing it correctly. It's like an open air bus attached to a tractor. Yeah. And it just like drives you around the property, and there's like elk and bison and then like ostriches and just like strange things. There's a Zdonkey. A what? Zdonkey? Excuse me. Is that like a German donkey? Zdonkey? Yeah. Explain what a Zdonkey is. It's a zebra and a donkey together. That's right. We did see that. I guess it could be a dunk bruh. but it doesn't sound as nice. You know what? That really doesn't roll off the tongue as well. I have no idea if that's an accurate name for it or not. Yeah. So we went to this place a few years back, and we saw all the animals, and you could interact with them and feed them and things like that. Yeah. And then after you feed the animals, there is a restaurant there where the animals feed you by giving you their lives. Because bison burgers and different things, different meats that you just interacted with were now available there. We're now being cooked to your liking. Yeah. Luckily not the one kangaroo. That little guy survived. But I ate a bison burger when I was still eating meat, and after having seen a bison, it was very strange. I just want to say, Australia, if you're listening, no offense to your dietary choices, but I'm never eating kangaroo or any other meat for that matter, but hard pass. Do people eat kangaroo there? Mm-hmm. It's really? In the stores like you would see beef here. Is it really? Yeah. Wow, I had no idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's so strange. Yeah. About as strange as eating a bison after you just fed one. That is true. And I did do that. You helped fatten it up. I can't. That's true. That's what they're feeding. Oh, that's a sick system, you guys. That is what they're doing, because they're giving you free food to like feed. You're actually working for them part-time. Like you're volunteering to work to feed the animals. Even worse, that bison burger was topped with an ostrich egg. Oh, God. What did I do? What did you do? I am a monster. Oh, man. Good God. That was fun, though. It was fun seeing the animals. I had more fun seeing all of the animals and all of that, because it's animals that you wouldn't normally see. So I imagine some of the animals that might be there, like a bison or a Zdonkey, would be found in North Dakota, and right? And Zdonkey. And just your typical beefs, your typical beef and whatevers. But I don't understand why feuding has anything to do with this, but carry on. I'll take the Tupac Biggie burger. Can I get an ostrich egg on top of that? Can I get the Tupac burger? You want a biggie on that? Yeah, I'll get a Tupac Biggie burger. That's a good idea. Tupac Biggie burger. Why is that fun to say? It really rolls off the tongue. But yeah, so this not really a bastion of vegetarianism in this area, but people are just excited to go to restaurants. But I don't think I'm excited to go to restaurants yet. I don't think I would. I mean, restaurants are now open where we live, but I'm not really big on going anywhere right now. Yeah, I'm not ready to see people. I'm not ready to be near people. I'm never really ready to be around people because mostly I'm just silently judging, but I don't know. There is a little bit of anxiety around that because you've been taught to you've been beaten into your home to fear people for the past 3 months. So yeah, it's a little scary to go out into the world suddenly.
I would like to have some kind of like shield mask on where it would just like automatically open when I would open my mouth. It opens up and then like the food is able to be inserted through the mask into my mouth, and then it closes right behind it.
Wow, doesn't that sound fun?
Doesn't that sound like fun?
That's like it's like a guillotine of food.
You're right. It is.
Comes up and
hold on. So it's like one of those bagel slicers right in front of me. Yeah. It just chips down. I always enjoyed the bagel slicer because I always pretended I was working a guillotine with that.
That's fucked up, man.
That just felt like
Did you work for the Queen?
Just
jeez.
All my breakfasts were in the Tower of London. It's just
is that why you like beans on toast so much? I don't
no one should like that. That's really bizarre. Baked beans are a side dish to hot dogs. They don't belong on your breakfast plate.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't need that.
Banger means something very different here. I was going to say that I would prefer like one of those hamster balls. Can I just eat a sanitized hamster ball? Like, just put me in one of those giant ones. And I can wave to people. Like, there's like one little sliding door where like the server can hand me my food. Yeah. You know, also in a tiny ball.
Oh, you know, a lot of like banks.
A lot of balls.
A lot of balls. You looking for to be around a lot of balls? There's a different place we should.
I'm gonna eat some vegan meatballs from this tiny ball into my giant ball.
A lot of bank branches are going to close because there's just not the work anymore, right? There's not that foot traffic
full of
in
good
there.
news.
Hey, everybody! But we can also convert those into restaurants where, you know, like the drive-through, where like the food, like you know how the drive-through has those tubes where they like shoots into the bank. You can like serve food to people that way, just like fling food real fast to people. There's no contact. You just pull up, you lift up the little thing, and your food's right there. Just crack open the thing.
Next thing you know, we're going to find a lot of Pizza Huts inside old abandoned banks.
They're like shooting pizza in tubes at people. Vacuum tubes. That vacuum tube network is going to extend from the branch of the banks to all of our homes, and there's food's going to shoot through tubes. Like when you instead of when you go on Grubhub, you just type in, all of a sudden like the thing comes in, you crack it open, you take your food out, you stick the tube back in, and it shoots back up, gets sanitized down to the next person. I
went in a very different direction where I imagined, again, Pizza Hut, but then suddenly, instead of like having like their normal pizzas, they just really specialize in calzones. So it's going to be like the calzone zoom. So like it zooms through the pipe.
That's right.
Piping hot.
I like it.
Straight to your mouth.
Our piping hot pipes will deliver the goods to your mouth hole. Are we still talking about pizza?
Hey, Kevin, headline number 2.
Headline number 2.
Blink-182
to record album using alien sounds.
Okay.
So, Tiffany, I don't know if you recall, but because there's the news, about a year's worth of news happens every day now, where back in maybe like the 1990s, it was a little bit slower, the world, and when you'd watch the news.
Yeah.
But nowadays, every day feels like 20. And there's just so much information, stories happening. One of the stories lost in the shuffle, actually a couple of them, but one of them I want to talk about is the UFO footage that is out there. We've talked about before on the show.
I know.
And it just kind of gets glossed over. Like, that's a pretty big deal. Like, that would have been a very big deal 10 years ago, you know. But we've just seen so much, and we've been through so much that we just are just numb to a lot of things.
We're
right
like,
now.
Yeah, aliens, whatever. It's cool.
And then the strangest thing about
what if there's an unexplanatory thing up in the sky? I don't know. So we're stars. We can't explain those either. Carry on.
And then the whole thing about like parallel universes we talked about recently. There's a lot of really big, sort of dramatic, bonkers things happening. And the one guy from Blink-182. Or maybe he's not in the band anymore. I think he is now, but I think he steps away from time to time. I know he had his own band for a while, Angels and Airwaves or something like that.
I don't know. I'm not
a big Blink person.
Yeah, nothing against it. I just never got into them.
Yeah.
I think I like their hits.
That's kind of how I feel. Like, I'm not a huge, like, I'm not thinking about ever putting in one of their albums or anything like that.
Yeah.
And when we do hear them, it's like, that was okay. That was okay for the time.
Yeah.
It's not, whatever.
Go on.
Yeah. So they're going to record a new album with some of the sounds they're picking up from the footage from those videos that they've been that are out there.
Okay. What are those sounds? Zoom, whoosh.
So you're familiar with the sounds. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was just getting a transmission. Did you get the message okay?
Were you getting a telegraph?
Yeah.
To all of our ships at sea, Fake Headlines podcast now available on Spreaker.
All aboard. We listened to a lot of the 40s music on Sirius, so
you're thinking of that. Like,
voice is always there.
We use satellite radio to beam 40s music to us, so we're not even like we think we should be listening to something more modern, but we're just listening to 40s on 4. Just the best of the 40s.
I love it so much.
That's what we rock out to at the Dillon House. Just old timey ragtime music.
I love it.
Coming up next, Glenn Miller.
That is orchestra.
I know nothing about modern music, but boy, I could tell you about some Glenn Miller.
It's a delight.
It's like it seems like something a hipster would do, right? Like listening to like old music, but we like are earnestly listening to this music. Like we're not trying to be cool or anything like that. It's just
I just genuinely love it. Yeah. I've always loved old jazz music
in a non-ironic way.
Yeah. I feel like somehow, this is a complete sidebar, but I feel like somehow I was always really drawn to it because I played saxophone when I was in school, and I remember when I was in, it must have been like the end of 3rd grade, before you entered 4th grade, where they would talk to you like you just gone through the whole year playing the stupid recorder.
I thought it was talking about the other talk that they pull you aside and have when you're in school.
Oh, no.
Okay, yeah.
There's classes for that. They don't. So we go through the whole year and you're playing the stupid recorder and they're like, okay, you're going into 4th grade now. Do you want to play an instrument? And you're like, yeah, of course. And they're like, well, what do you want to play? So then I was immediately like, I want to play saxophone. I don't know why. I have no recollection as to why. Where was I influenced from? I don't know. Lisa Simpson? Like, it's the only thing that makes sense.
I think I know where you were influenced by. Benny Hill. Because that was your recital, wasn't it?
No.
We owe the estate of Benny Hill $300 for singing that.
Every time.
Damn it, why we don't have that kind of money.
And the music teacher was trying to convince me. She was like, no, you should play clarinet or you should play flute. Why do you want to play the saxophone? And I was like, I just want to play the saxophone. Like, I was like dead set hard. Like, I'm going to play the saxophone. Can you imagine? Why was she so
against it? Did they have too many saxophone players?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think she was kind of a cunt.
Oh.
That was part of it.
Another one of the cunty teachers you've had in your life.
Imagine. Yeah.
Somehow, Tiffany, you've survived a gauntlet of very terrible educators in your life.
I don't know.
And you've come out very strong.
Thanks.
But holy shit, you've had some fucking doozies.
Yeah. But I played the saxophone all the way through high school. There was one year where I didn't play. Mm-hmm. But again,
because you failed the drug test.
Yeah.
You had to sit out.
My favorite part of playing was always the jazz music and the old older music like that. Like, I didn't really care so much about like the orchestra part. It was always like jazz band that I thought was the most fun. Maybe because there was like so much less pressure. I don't know. It's just, it was cool.
It's a little bit more like jazz sometimes is about the notes that aren't being played. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Real cool.
Whereas like the orchestra, everything's got to be lockstep perfect, you know?
Yeah.
Jazz a little bit more.
Very staccato. I like a little smooth jazz. Crescendo? No.
Crescendo? No. I like the arm gestures you were doing there. I wish we could have seen those at home. Those are pretty good.
Kodo, right back to the beginning, pal.
I never played
music terms.
I don't know anything about music. You're pretty musical. You can play the saxophone, little guitar, a little recorder. Clearly, you've talked about the recorder. You're very good at it.
I don't mean to brag.
I mean, you're pretty good.
My voice?
You do have an excellent voice. I've heard you sing many times.
Thanks.
Both publicly and privately, and it's you're really good. You're real good.
You're really selling it too much.
You're very good.
That's carry on.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to tell you. Folks, I'm trying to let you know at home that Tiffany is a multi-talented artist and musician. That's what I'm trying to say.
I haven't played an instrument in so long. I wouldn't even call myself.
It's like riding a saxophone. You'll be right back into it. You'll pick up right where you left off.
I want to dance away like Lisa Simpson.
Or chased away like Benny Hill.
I'm going to maybe record a new album that involves some alien sounds. So I think I might use this Blink-182 album as a influence.
It could be an inspiration, yeah.
To my debut album.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
I think you're on the right track. There's going to be lots of bleeps and blips, some zooms and zims, and some strange voices.
They were able to catch sounds with this?
I think so. I think the ships were making sounds as they were being followed. Mm-hmm. Probably lots of feedback and probably stuff happening, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like when the Mothman shows up, there's all kinds of chaos and weird frequencies happening.
Sure.
You know how the Mothman is.
Yeah.
I imagine
always
similar.
Showing up.
Always showing up. I just got really nervous. I looked over at the stairs to see if the Mothman was there. That was really freaky.
Nope, not there.
Nope, thank God.
Not there. Also, real quick, speaking of like weird things, so I don't know if anyone else heard it, but there was like a weird little voice in our last episode where it sounded like Kevin was saying something, but he was not talking. Like, that was not him.
It was like there was somebody talking over me or something.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
I was like, well, I can't edit it out because it's like what we were talking about was important.
Yeah. As always.
It would have been like a weird place to edit, but I was like...
Did you write down the time that happened at?
No, but maybe I'll go back and try and find it. I don't know.
Yeah, but there was a weird moment. We kept listening to the recording over and over as we were...
I was like, what the hell is that?
As we were dropping the episode into the thing that gets it to where it goes so you guys can hear it. And that was a very good explanation.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty
spot on.
Pretty. I use a lot of big industry buzzwords there. I know, guys, that you might not be familiar with, but yeah, we kept hearing this voice, and I don't know if it was I don't know what it was or where it came from because it
wasn't Kevin.
It wasn't
weird.
me. It wasn't Tiffany, and we don't have anything. There's no televisions on in our home or anything of that nature. But there was like a weird word that just kind of was there. So
yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
If you heard it, let us know and let us know what you think it said. I couldn't make it out.
I don't know. I didn't like it.
And if you're not sure, go back and listen to the show again.
Ugh.
And let us know.
Yeah.
And call ghost hunters. Not ghost adventurers, because those guys seem a little douchey.
I don't know. They might be nice guys, but I don't know. Their pants are just too...
Everything's too tight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like they have tribal tattoos in places.
Like a tramp stamp type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a tribal tramp stamp.
Like I imagine that one, the main guy, he has like a barbed wire tattoo around
and it says mommy's boy.
Exactly.
Weird.
Yeah, and then he's got like E.T. It's like E.T. as a mermaid and an anchor on his shoulder. It's very strange. It's a weird tattoo. That was kind of weird.
I don't know what my brain just formed, but I was like I was with you for the journey. I was like, wow, E.T. is a mermaid. Okay.
Strange imagery.
But like it's like that. It's like when they try to disguise E.T. so he's got the wig on.
Right. He's got like a coconut bra on. Like long blonde hair, a coconut bra.
Lipstick,
and like mermaid legs. Like, oh, I'm just a mermaid. As if you're going to disguise an alien, you'd make it into another mythological creature.
Yeah.
Like, oh yes, we don't believe this alien came down, but we do believe that there's this thing living in the water. That makes much more sense. We saw Splash. We know that's a documentary. Oh my God.
Okay, well, I can't wait to hear this album. We've discussed it to no end. We've arrived to the fact that there's going to be a lot of bleep bloops and whoosh, whoosh.
Yes, a lot of whirly sounds.
Whoop. Slide whistles, of course.
Intergalactic slide whistles. and the Benny Hill theme.
Okay, so the last one is...
Yeah, so headline number 3. Tiffany, we'll be back in 15 days. Italian prison escapees leave a note promising to return.
That's so polite.
It is. You know what? They may be prisoners, but they're very polite.
Right.
You know, maybe they've learned something in jail or prison. I think they're in prison.
Isn't that...
That says that right in the
prisoners?
Thing. Prisoners.
Would
assume they're in prison.
In prison.
They're not jailers.
Right.
So they're in prison.
Yeah. I believe we've arrived at the same conclusion.
These are the types of grammar questions I was asking Tiffany before tweeting. That's where my brain's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even if you're a criminal, it doesn't mean that you can't stop being polite.
That's absolutely true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, it's like what Aristotle once said, that politeness is the virtue of the honest man not being a criminal man. I made that up. I have no idea.
Oh, you don't say.
Well, you didn't buy that for 1 second.
You had me reaching for my change purse, but nope.
I could feel
was not gonna buy
it. I could feel your eyes rolling before it happened. Like I just knew.
Just because you saw them twitching in place before they hold it there, hold steady, okay, and roll.
Sometimes when you're just kind of goofing around and riffing, it doesn't always land. You know, you just you win some, you lose some. Also, an Aristotle quote.
Oh yeah,
brought it back. So Tiffany, they escaped from prison. Why would they go back?
Great food.
Great that friendship, you know.
Yeah, those unbreakable bonds. Both legal.
If they were unbreakable bonds, they wouldn't have been able to escape.
Back in 15 days if I can't remove these handcuffs.
All right, David Blaine. What a weird stunt he's doing this year.
Why would they return in 15 days? There must be some sort of incentive.
Right.
Maybe that's when their sentence is up. There's no repercussions for leaving and then coming back. As long as it's before your sentence is up.
Look, I know we're getting out of jail in 2 weeks, but
just let us have a little holiday before, just before we leave this.
Just one last hurrah!
Glorious
spring break,
stone paradise.
Did you just call jail Stone Paradise?
Uh-huh.
Stone Paradise. I think that's what they called the jail on The Walking Dead that they were in. When was it called Stone Paradise?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you think they escaped from jail? What do you think they did?
Asked politely.
They just were very sincere. Listen, I would like to leave for 2 weeks. I'll be back. I promise not to do anything to extend my sentence.
What if they were in a... Well, how many prisoners are there that escaped?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe they were half of a quartet and they sang their way out.
That could be.
What if they were like those, like one of them was playing an accordion and one was playing a violin, and like they were just like just playing, like lullabying the guard to sleep, and then they just like, really serenaded him with a nice tenor voice. And then they left him a note along with the instruments. It was like,
be back in 2.
Back in 15 days. I like to imagine that it's like one of those clocks. You know how they have like on store windows, like it'll be like back at 3:00.
Yeah.
But it's like, for some reason, it's a clock that is labeled in days. So
are we stoned right now? I mean, let's be honest.
So it's
here.
like,
what's going on?
It's more of like a month-long clock. which I guess is a calendar.
Oh my god.
It's a circular calendar.
A month-long clock? I guess a calendar. Yes.
And so they say we'll be back. Back in 15
days.
Yeah?
Oh my god. I'm lightheaded from laughing. Oh my god. Yes, I was imagining that same thing.
My hair may be purple, but I'm blonde at the roots.
I also love the idea that they were like, since they're in Italy, they're like singing opera to like the serenade. They're serenading the
so
guard.
Romantic,
right? Like the guard's got a rose between his mouth. Like, what's going on here?
You sound like Bob Hope.
And awfully, it's right. It's Bob Hope in another wacky comedy where this time I'm in Italy as a warden. Support the USO. I like they have this very cartoony image in my head of like them like singing in this. He's like really trying to fight it, but he just comically falls asleep.
It's definitely like one of those cartoons where he's like,
right, exactly. Then they slink their way out very carefully, Scooby-Doo style.
Yeah.
Oh my
one
god. One
carrying the other, of course. So, Kevin, one of these is real, huh?
Yeah, one of them's real. Which one do you think it might be?
Oh, goodness. So we have North Dakota vegan restaurant open 24/7. We have Blink-182 making an album with alien sounds. And then we have Italian prisoners who politely leave a message that they'll return in 15 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the last one.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I feel bad letting you know this, though, that you are correct.
Thank you.
That is the real story this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an article from 7news.com/AU. We'll be back in 15 days. Italian prison escapees leave note promising to return.
So sweet and polite.
Yeah, so the story goes like this. 2 apparently well-mannered inmates have escaped from an Italian prison but left a note behind explaining that they'll be back in 15 days. Davad Zuvanik, 40, and Lil Amatovic, 46. I like that the name's Lil.
Lil Amatovic.
Yo, Lil Amatovic, and I'm here to say, I'm here to leave the Italian prison in an old school way. I chisel away at the wall every day after dinner. And then I escape because I'm a winner.
But don't worry, I won't be gone for long. I'll be back in 15 days. So for now, so long.
They're still rapping like that in Italy. They haven't caught up to like modern times. They're still listening to like the Sugar Hill Gang and like they're gonna love like 90s hip hop. I tell you, they're gonna love it when they get to it. So these 2 knuckleheads broke out of a prison in Rome on June 2nd after scaling a wall using a water hose left in a courtyard. So they shimmy their way down with a hose. Not the comical lulling to sleep that we imagined, unfortunately. But rather going into hiding or boarding a flight to another country, the cousins promised that they had other plans.
Oh, so they were family.
Mm-hmm.
Italian family. That
hey,
makes
we
sense.
stick together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for all these terrible voices we're doing.
We're
we
the
can't
worst.
help. I know it's wrong, but
yeah,
I'm sorry for the voices. They insisted they're coming back. According to Republica Daily, Zuvanik and Amatovic left a note in their cell explaining that they had personal reasons for needing to flee. Both fathers, the men said they had the need to protect their children from a nasty business that they had gotten themselves into.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the newspaper reported that both of their wives are also in jail.
Who's watching the kids?
Both sets of parents are in jail.
They escape at 15-day intervals. So that the moms escape from jail. They come take care of the kids for 2 weeks. The dads go back to jail.
Childcare is a real bitch in Italy. You think it's bad here?
I know.
Shit.
Whoa.
The inmates specified they could only The inmates specified that only they could make things right, as their wives were also both in jail. The men were serving sentences until 2029 for non-violent crimes, including fraud and receiving stolen goods. Last March, families of inmates at Rabita Prison had demonstrations outside the facility because of the suspension of visits because of the coronavirus pandemic. I don't know why that was thrown in there. That was a weird... That's how the story ends. And by the way, coronavirus...
I was gonna say, so they escaped to take care of their kids for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they said that there was some kind of the kids had gotten involved in some kind of nasty situation that only they could help, which doesn't sound very good. That only they can help resolve. So the fathers escaped to help their children.
Well, I guess that's kind of kind. I
guess
I mean, they shouldn't have all gone to jail at the same time, but if they could somehow put some right back into the world by helping their kids out, I guess that's good.
I guess so, but weird. It's gotta be weird having both parents in jail.
Wow, what a situation.
Yeah, and they're cousins, so they're cousins who are both in jail, and their wives are also in jail,
trying to prevent their kids from going to jail.
Yeah,
that was what it sounds like.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. What a weird story, Kev.
Yeah, I thought you might enjoy that one.
I did.
And great job guessing the real story.
Thanks.
And I guess we'll be back right after this.
Hey, fake friends. Have you heard about Soho Shoes? Inspired by the diversity and vibrant bursts of color seen throughout the popular neighborhood in Manhattan, Soho Shoes lets you find individuality in fashion with a statement of bold confidence. Soho's foundation urges the learning about our true selves while building the confidence to stand in it unapologetically. Shouldn't we all do that standing in a great pair of shoes? Choose from carefully selected boots, heels, sneakers, and now limited apparel. And right now, if you sign up for the Soho email list, enter for your chance to win a $100 gift card. Go to sohoshoes.com today. That's SOLEHO shoes.com. Bye. Hey everybody, we want to tell you about our favorite record store, Revolver Records.
Located in beautiful downtown Buffalo, they have 2 locations, Hurdle Avenue and Elmwood Avenue. Can't get to the store right now? Place your order online at revolverrecordsinc.com.
With the largest selection of new and quality vinyl in Western New York, Revolver Records specializes in all genres of music, from rock to soul to jazz to really whatever you're into.
Revolver Records isn't limited to just selling vinyl. They have all the fun stuff to go with it, like turntables and speakers.
They also have pins, hats, and t-shirts for the whole family. Not sure what to buy that music lover in your life? Get that old hard-to-read so-and-so a gift card.
During coronavirus restrictions, shipping and delivering is free within a 5-mile radius of the shops. Otherwise, get it mailed straight to your door.
Either way, it gives you an opportunity to put on pants for the occasion.
Remember, that's revolverrecordsinc.com.
Bye. All right, Kevin, you ready for my 3 headlines?
Yeah, let's hear them, babe.
Okay. Headline number 1. This Norwegian hot spring changes color when you enter it. This Norwegian hot spring changes color when you enter it.
Interesting. Okay.
Headline number 2. Soul-searching hiker returns after 4 years in the wilderness. Soul-searching hiker returns after 4 years in the wilderness.
Good God. Okay.
And headline number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Treasure chest. Why is that difficult for me to say? Treasure chest, hidden 10 years ago and said to be worth millions, is finally found. Treasure chest, hidden 10 years ago and said to be worth millions, is finally found. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Unbelievable, aren't they?
You're trying to tell me that one of these headlines is a real story?
I guess.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look here. This Norwegian hot spring changes color when you enter it.
Yeah.
Like when you pee in it?
No.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, just when you,
It turns yellow.
put your body in it.
Oh, interesting. Is it like a mood? Does it change based on like your mood?
No.
Like a mood ring? Like it turns red? Like, oh, you really should relax.
No, not like a mood ring. I think it has to do with based on the chemical makeup of individuals.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, I guess that could also mean your mood.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Right.
So, like, if you're in the mood, maybe it turns like red. What's a horny color?
Red's a horny color. Yeah, I think red's
it's
a horny.
also an angry color, so I don't know.
Oh, it could be angry sex.
Okay.
Angry horniness. That's a ska band I was in. Emphasis on horn and horniness.
Yeah.
Because of the horn section.
Oh, so you are musically inclined.
Yeah.
We heard a sad trombone on our walk earlier.
We did. That was the other funny thing we heard on our walk.
It was just I
don't know if it was a kid practicing the trombone that really had a ways to go or
super
what.
Super sad because it was just constantly like, brrr, brrr.
I was like, so thankful we did not live next door to that person. Like, fuck that house.
Constant sad trombone.
Oh, man.
Man.
Yeah, I think red's probably a horny color.
Okay.
I mean, most of your like Valentine's Day is red. Like we think of red, kind of like a romantic color, right?
Uh-huh.
Hearts are red. The human heart in blood is red. Uh-huh. Also romantic.
Yeah, so romantic.
You're the one with purple
Calm it
hair.
down there, Dracula.
I thought you'd like it. Kind of punk are you?
It's fashionable and fun.
So if there are several different people in the water, would it be like multicolored water, you think?
Yeah.
Like a rainbow of colors. Mm-hmm. So it maybe reacts to like the sweat or like the chemicals you may have on your skin, maybe?
Right.
So if you have some kind of product on, it might turn it a different color, maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure it interferes in some sort of way. But I think because if it's a natural spring, they might request that people not have chemicals on their body when they enter it.
That's true. It's kind of like when we were on our honeymoon and when there was a hot tub that you could operate on your own. Like you would go over and turn the dials for it, But there was a big sign saying if you've had diarrhea that day, don't get in the hot tub.
Or the pool.
Was it also the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It also was they didn't want your diarrhea butt in the public water.
No swimming if you've had diarrhea.
God, what a weird thing to have to own up to.
What a weird thing for you to recall in that moment.
Right. But like what if you were with a group of friends and like everybody's swimming, you're like, why aren't you swimming? And you're just like, look at the sign, man. I diarrheed earlier today. I mean, I got it. I got diarrhea.
Upset stomach, diarrhea. Someone needs Pepto-Bismol. That's all I'm saying. It made me think of the jingle. That's all.
It did. And it made us all feel Pepto-Abysmal.
Yeah, so maybe... Okay, so everyone's body has different...
I thought you were going to say everybody's butt.
Everyone's butt has diarrheaed at least once in their life. But everyone's chemicals in their bodies are different.
Yes.
So they vary. So maybe it's like specific to you. Maybe it has to do with like your aura or something.
That could be. Have you ever been to a spring before? Like a spring, hot spring or anything like that? I don't think I have either.
I'm afraid of being boiled alive like a frog.
I fear that as well.
Normal fears. Just like I'm really scared to go to like Yosemite and like all of a sudden, is it Yosemite? And it has like the
geysers.
Yeah. Like I'm afraid death is coming to me if I go there.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're able. I don't think it's like a landmine. We're just walking along, and all of a sudden a geyser blows up and like shoots up you, and all of a sudden you're Marilyn Monroeing in the middle of the desert.
Well, you know how I like to walk around the desert in a beautiful white dress.
You would have a flowing gown on while we were there.
Let my undies show. Oh my!
Yeah, I don't know if that would necessarily happen there, but yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, isn't there a fault line there or something?
Probably. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I don't really know.
I think there's a fault line there. Okay. Yeah. I've never been in a hot spring. I don't know. I don't know.
Do we have those? I mean, there's different, what is the place I'm thinking of in New York that has springs in the title? It's like a city or a town.
Saratoga?
Saratoga Springs. Are there like springs like of water there?
Not. I mean, there's water there.
Do they have water in that town?
Yeah, I think they're clean. Yeah.
They drink water? You think they drink water?
They bottle it.
They bottle it. I wonder if
I think they do.
I think there is. Isn't there like a Saratoga Springs water brand? I think you're right. That's where all water comes from.
Yeah.
The oceans are fed from Saratoga Springs, right? I don't know. Let's go with it. But yeah, I don't know if there's actually springs there, or if that's just the name of, or like Springville. They don't think there's actually springs there.
Right, yeah.
You can use that word and not mean a hot spring, I suppose, is what I'm getting at.
Right. I think sometimes hot springs are usually found around places that have volcanoes.
Oh, really?
I would think so. Like it has to heat up somehow.
Well, that's true. I mean, but the underground is hot everywhere, though, too, I suppose, right? I mean, the molten, like, lava exists everywhere. We just, the fountain.
We just haven't dug deep enough.
Let's keep fracking. Let's just fucking bomb the ground.
What a delight.
Let's just blow up the ground and see what happens.
Cool.
Let's shoot some stuff in the ground.
Okay.
Let's nuke the ground and then see what color the water is that comes out.
It's gonna be vengeance. Is what it's gonna be. I think we've had enough this year.
Mother Earth's revenge, I think, is I think that's the color of it. Sure is.
Would you get into a hot spring? Would you enjoy that?
I think I mean, is it like how hot is a hot spring? Like, is it like boiling, or?
I don't think it's like boiling so that your skin's gonna fall off your body.
Okay, then I definitely would not do that if that's what it is.
Yeah.
If it's a comfortable boil, then yes, I would do it.
If you've ever experienced a comfortable boil, please email us at fakeheadlinespodcast@gmail.com.
What's that huge thing on your neck? Oh, it's just a very uncomfortable boil. I really got to get that thing lanced.
Oh,
I took it in a different way.
Oh, Lord.
I like how that really was fun to watch it wash over your face. Not the boil, not the contents of the boil, but just the...
Disgust? Is the disgust wash over my face?
That was very amusing. I'm very sorry.
Oh, honey. I love you too.
I'm so sorry. I love you. Don't get mad. Please don't be mad.
I'm not mad.
It's all for fun.
Okay. What color do you think the water would turn if you got into it?
I want to say green.
Mm-hmm. I also thought green for you.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see for yourself?
Probably like a magenta. Mm-hmm.
What's magenta? Is that more of like a purpley type?
It's on the pinker spectrum of purple.
And
that was fun to wash over your face.
A pinker spectrum of purple. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss rejected short story or something. Yeah, I kind of saw like more of a sky blue for you, or like a teal.
Yeah,
that's what I was seeing in your world.
Because it's my favorite.
Yeah, I was probably heavily influenced by every color in our apartment.
You didn't want to say yellow for you because it's just
right.
pea.
Exactly. It's going to be pea or doo-doo brown.
No. Okay, Kevin, what about headline number 2?
Yeah, headline number 2. This was soul-searching hiker returns after 4 years in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's a real like Walden Woods situation going on there.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's Henry David Thoreau.
I don't know who that is.
He wrote Walden Woods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a very important piece
Tell me
of literature.
About it. Mm-hmm.
I remember reading it in high school. It has to do with transcendentalism.
Okay, so I don't know what that book is.
Yeah, so Henry David Thoreau wrote a book called Walden, which, according to Wikipedia, is a reflection upon simple living in natural surroundings. And that was probably his most prominent role. And he was a leading he was a leading person in the Transcendentalism movement, which is a philosophical movement that developed in the 1820s and 1830s. The core belief of Transcendentalism is the core belief of the inherent goodness of people and nature, and society and its institutions have corrupted the purity of the individual, and people are at their best when they are truly self-reliant and independent. Which
I think that this hiker probably found.
Yeah, I would say so.
He was soul searching, so he was looking for his best self. He clearly needed to escape for a few years.
Yeah.
Maybe he got lost along the way. You don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he was one of those people on Benny Hill and Yakety Sax was playing and he was being chased and he just got chased into the woods and got lost.
That could be.
You know, he was that little old man, that little old bald guy that kept getting... he always gets hit on the head. Now he came back and he's young and refreshed. It's like a Benjamin Button situation happened there. Yeah, real weird.
Yep. It's like he just had a hair mask.
When you said hair mask, I just imagined like a face mask with like hair all over it. That's some kind of punishing device that you put on yourself. I've been bad. I must put on the hair face mask.
Oh, that's gross.
And atone for my sins.
That's interesting. I'm not familiar with that book, but I'd be interested in learning more about it.
Yeah, we read it in like 10th grade. We talked about that for some reason.
Wow.
Yeah,
we read the movie. Is what just about came out of my mouth.
We read the movie. What did you read the movie of?
It's such a sad follow-up. The Book Night. That's what I was going to say, was The Book Night.
What's that?
It's written by Eli Wiesel, and he talks about surviving the Holocaust.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was
very different.
Sad
very
follow-up.
Different.
Yeah, sad follow-up. Tiff, you could have made up something topics. There. Could have made up a book there.
I couldn't. I was too horrified by my next thought.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for what he went through.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very good book, though.
I've never heard of that before.
Let's do a high school book swap.
I love high school book swap.
Did you read Animal Farm?
I did not.
Yeah, we were assigned it. I didn't read it either.
Oh. We did read.
I definitely did like back of the cover skim, asked my friends about it, took the quiz, passed it somehow.
We did some classics. We did like A Raisin in the Sun, and we did... I remember reading what's the book with Atticus Finch and
To Kill a Mockingbird?
To Kill a Mockingbird. We did that, and we did that our class read that.
We did that. Went been there, done that, did it, read the book.
Each person
passed the test.
Each person read a page, and the next person behind them in the row of the seats read the next page, and so on and so forth until the whole classroom had read the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that, and
you read it that way? Oh man.
Yeah.
You do independent reading.
See,
your teachers clearly did not trust you.
No, they didn't. And I was not good in those situations because having such anxiety, the whole time leading up to like knowing that I was going to have to read in a couple, people, like if I'm a couple people away from having to read, I've totally lost track of what we're reading. I'm just focused on preparing myself to have to read in front of the class.
Aww.
And then once it becomes my time to read, I'm so focused on reading and trying to sound like a normal human being who's not freaking out that I have no idea what I'm reading. I'm just reading the words as precisely as possible. And then when it moves on to the next person, I'm now dealing with the feelings that I just went through of the anxiety of the approach of the almost about to read, and then having to go through the reading. Now I'm breaking it down in a weird post-show, like Chris Hardwick should have been there, breaking down the whole situation for me after the fact. And so the whole half hour is just shot. I've lost the entire thing.
So then you have to go home and read it anyway.
So then I got to read it, or what I did instead of reading it is I just became incredibly lost on every book we ever read in high school.
Why confront the problems if you could just ignore them?
Just ignore it and take that 70 on the test.
Sure.
That's what I did.
Oh
man, I just explained my lackluster performance in high school. I finally realized it all these years later. That's what it was. It was those kinds of situations.
You were so focused on getting it right.
Yeah, that I couldn't comprehend what I was doing, and then panicked afterwards too.
On a serious note,
this show really brings up a lot of weird shit for me.
I'm sure there's a lot of kids who probably relate to that feeling.
Yeah. There probably is, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was terrifying. I hated reading aloud in class. Oh, man, that was such anxiety.
I always got bummed when I wasn't picked. I was like, I want to read. And then I'd be like, I could do this so much better.
I would have called on you if you could have taken the reading from me. Holy shit.
Aw, you poor thing.
It was so sucky.
Aww.
I don't like it. So soul searching in the woods. Maybe this guy was full of anxiety from reading it aloud in class and had to go into the woods for 4 years.
Maybe he was full of anxiety just from society and just
well, that certainly could be a real thing.
He was like, okay, you know what? Maybe it wasn't even society. Maybe it was just like he hit a pivotal moment in his life. Mm-hmm. We see it on Unsolved Mysteries all the time. People just up and leave their homes. Yeah. They hit a mental break and they're just like, I'm out of here.
Right.
Like that character from The State. And then they just, they go on and just go on a little bit of a spiritual journey.
Yeah. Or like that weird guy in my family. I think we've talked about that before on the show where it was like my uncle or my dad's cousin or something that would just leave for years at a time and then just...
Oh, yeah. I remember your dad telling me about this guy.
Yeah.
And it was the most bizarre situation where he would just leave and he left his family and then he would come back. He must have had a second family.
He would leave for his Marv was his name. He was like Uncle Marv. He would leave Western New York. He would, I think, go off to like California or somewhere for a couple of years, and he would come back, and my aunt would just welcome him back in. There were no questions. Like they just had this weird thing going on. Like I don't understand it.
Are you sure he didn't have a second family?
Well, I don't know. I don't think he ever owned up to it. They just didn't talk about it. Like they,
wow.
I mean, at some point they must have, but then it just became a thing where they would just let him go off and do his thing, and he'd come back and. It was a different time, maybe, than where you just allowed such a thing to happen, which is so shitty. But that's what it was. That was the relationship. And of course, us kids never knew that growing up. We didn't know what.
You were just like, well, I guess I won't see Uncle Marv for a while,
right? Because he wasn't somebody we saw. Like we would go to like their house, maybe. Like I remember going there once on Thanksgiving, but that was a very rare. That was like a one-time thing. Like we would see them. Well, maybe once a summer we'd go off and see this particular side of the family. It was like my grandma's sisters, I think it was my I think it was like there was a couple of them nearby, maybe like an hour away. We'd go see them. It wasn't like they were down the road or they were around often. But this guy, I think as kids we weren't wondering like, where's Mom? They probably would have just said, if we'd asked, oh, he went out for a pack of smokes, he'll be back soon. But he would just take off for like years at a time and like just nobody. Just fucking weird. I wish I knew more. I wish my dad was still around so I could ask him more questions about that. Fuck.
Yeah.
I bet your mom would. We'll ask Mom this weekend when we go see her. We'll we'll try to get some follow-up questions to her.
I can picture Dad's face just telling the story about him. It's just like, oh, Marv, where you been? That's so funny.
So maybe this was a Marv situation. The guy just had to get away. He had a secret family in the woods.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Turns out he's Bigfoot.
That's
why you don't see him anymore.
Had a whole family of Bigfoots in those woods.
Yeah. You've never imagined, like, I mean, take me out of the equation, but you never imagined just like picking your shit up and just going, just being like, all right, I'm gonna go start a new life somewhere.
No, I've never really gotten to that point where it's been something. I've done that with jobs. Like I've walked out of jobs before. Like, well, one job when I was working at Darien Lake, I just said, fuck this place, and I just left one day. But that was the only time I ever. That was the only time I ever took in my surroundings and said, I cannot be here any longer.
Nope.
I am
Bye.
done.
See you later.
But yeah. But yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think things have ever. I mean, things have certainly things have happened that kind of nudge you in a certain direction. But nothing sort of where it was just like, this must happen right now. I must leave.
Yeah. And
go into the woods and stare into a creek.
That honestly sounds really nice. Like sometimes like my dad lives in a nice area that's very serene and quiet, and as a kid I hated it, but as an adult I think about it and I'm like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah, I've never, like, I don't want I don't like neighbors. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I just want quiet. And that's what's nice about the neighborhood that we're in. When we go for walks at night, it's just so quiet. There's no kids screaming except for that fucking trombone. And but there's just no noise. It's just very nice. Just that's what I like. I don't want to hear people.
Yeah. No offense against people. It's just like...
No, definitely offense against people. I do not like them.
I think sometimes... I think there is probably an animal instinct within us where we just need to connect with nature. And maybe that prolonged period of time is what that person needed to recharge their selves.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something sort of needed. I would love to go camping right now, but we just don't have the time or ability to right now. But just the idea of getting away and sitting around a fire, there is something sort of
nice.
Yeah, there's something very nice about that.
I imagine this guy probably went right back into the woods. He was probably like, oh, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, he
see you later.
He finally got onto the 4G network once he emerged from the woods, saw what was trending on Twitter, and then just threw his phone down and then walked back into the woods, and he's never been heard of from again.
Yeah, he was like, I don't need this.
No one needs this right now.
I'm gonna go build a fire in the woods somewhere.
Yes.
And
the world is a tire fire
pick
right
some
now.
Berries.
I will create my own fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to that. I would love, but I don't know how long I could last in the wilderness, though. I mean, I would be eaten immediately by a larger animal, but or I would eat something I shouldn't have eaten and die within the first week. But I don't know if I'd like to camp that long though without indoor plumbing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah. I suppose after a while you get used to the smell.
Oh, that's the worst though.
Yeah, I don't know if I could either. Maybe if I had a nice cabin and I was stocked up with canned goods and shampoos and
there was at least one Instacart driver nearby that could bring you food.
Running water. No.
Oh.
Not even that. As long as I had enough supplies.
Okay.
And a shower, a proper shower. That's my luxury. I love a good shower. That's the best.
Yeah, I don't think I can go without that either.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this worked out for the guy.
And like I said, a nice hair mask. Oh, girl.
You and your coconut. I don't think this guy's doing coconut hair masks in the woods.
No.
Mm-mm.
What about headline number 3, Kev?
Yeah, so headline 3 was
treasure chest hidden 10 years ago and said to be worth millions is finally found.
Wow, I wonder what was in it. Treasures?
Treasures worth millions.
Damn.
Duh.
Like One-Eyed Willie's treasure chest in Goonies?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Mm-hmm. Lots of jewels?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where do you think it was found? Buried in the ground or?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not on a...
X marks the spot.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's all about that booty.
Oh, shit.
That's a treasure map.
You did it.
Yeah.
You fucking did it. You went there.
I don't know what we were talking about the other night, but I was on a roll with pirate puns.
You really were. I don't know why we were talking about pirates, but we were.
I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah, it was a little off-putting, but it was okay.
It wasn't off-putting.
I'm kidding. That was very funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what we were talking about.
But it made you giggle.
It did. It very much did. Much like this story. I love discovered things like this.
Mm-hmm.
I love stories like this where people come across
Lost and Found. It's the best segment on Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It could be a treasure, it could be a family. It's the best part of Unsolved Mysteries.
Do you think maybe this was found at a Lost and Found at Kohl's where they're did somebody leave a giant bejeweled treasure chest? Do you happen to find that in the store?
Anyone's treasure? No.
If no one claims it in 10 days, I think one of us can take it.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to just split up the contents?
Let's just go bury it in the parking lot.
But why don't we keep the jewels?
No, let's just go bury it. That'll be fun. We'll come back, then no one will suspect us.
Why don't we take all the jewels and bury the empty thing?
That seems wrong.
I know, but it also seems so right that we're now rich with jewels. What if it's filled with jewel CDs from the artist Jewel?
Pass.
That wouldn't be worth much, would it?
No.
I don't really like Jewel.
Unless we were all gold. Gold CDs. They don't make gold CDs.
Well, they do have those, like when the album goes gold, they have like the plaque with a gold record in it. Maybe it's
which is a gold record, not a gold CD.
No, I think there's CDs on there too. I think.
Oh, that's stupid.
I think there is. I could be wrong, but I feel like I've seen things with discs on there. Long story short, Jewel gold albums, a treasure chest.
Wow.
For the times.
So many layers.
Mm-hmm.
How come they never made gold 8 tracks? Too much work, you think?
It may have been. Do you
remember there ever...
What do they do now?
Was this in high school? Maybe... Okay, sorry. Separate thought. I think that at one point in high school, one of our fundraisers for band was selling chocolate CDs.
What?
And it just came into my memory.
How does that work?
Like a flash.
Wait, tell me more about this.
Like a CD. It was shaped like a CD, but it was chocolate.
Like, did it come in a jewel case? A jewel case? Come on.
No, it was like in a plastic case, but environmentally friendly.
Those are called jewel cases.
Oh, is that what they're called?
Yeah. That's why.
I didn't know. I thought you meant like the CD of Jewel. I'm far gone.
It's okay.
But I think we sold chocolate CDs as a fundraiser.
So it's like a thin wafer of chocolate with a CD shaped?
Well, it was like a little thicker.
Okay.
It was like maybe twice the size of a normal CD.
Was it like...
But it was milk chocolate.
Did it look like a popular artist of the day's like album or something?
No, it's just a chocolate CD.
Just a generic chocolate CD?
Yeah.
Like a blank... Like if you're a blank chocolate CD?
It said CD RW on it.
Okay. So it was a rewritable CD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
All right. What kind of write speed on there? 8 to 8 or 32 speed maybe? Mm-hmm. Probably copy some shit and real quick with that, huh?
Yeah.
Make a nice dub with a friend's album in about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty slick.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds real sick.
Isn't that weird? That's just a weird memory to pop into my head.
That really is. Like, I wish there were still novelty gold... chocolate gold CDs.
But then I was just thinking about like gold 8 tracks and how fun that would be.
Yeah, what do they do now when an album like that term if an album?
I think they still make gold albums, right?
Do they?
And platinum.
I guess there's still albums going on.
They make records.
Yeah. Now you get like a golden download. Mm-hmm. A golden stream.
I think that means something else.
I think you're right. Oh man, my album is certified gold streams, man. That's so great.
Oh no. No. But okay, so how do you lose a treasure?
I don't know. I feel like the times that I've seen unsolved mysteries about treasures, it's like some guy is like, I'm gonna bury this by the tree here, by this thing. I'll never forget where exactly it is.
4 paces north, 8 paces east, 12 paces south, 4 paces west. You just went into a circle. I know.
But I'll always remember.
That's right.
And then there's like a horrible earthquake or the tree gets chopped down and like no one knows where the treasure chest is again.
Right. You can no longer measure.
Right. all the landmarks are destroyed.
Or even worse, your feet get bigger.
Right.
How are you going to keep track if your feet aren't the same size?
Right. I mean, a pace is a pace.
A pace is a pace, and a pace is a pace is a pace is a pace is a pace. Salsa.
And Ace is the place.
What is the rest of it?
I don't know. There's a weird jingle there. I don't know. I can't remember how it goes.
Helpful hardware store. I don't know. I think it's words that don't make sense.
Yeah.
I think that's why we can't remember.
And that's why no one goes there.
No, people go.
I know we do.
They've been around for a long time.
They have great business. Please support them. I have no idea. Don't take it from me. Do your own research. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's. I recall an unsolved mysteries where they some people buried some things they stole from somewhere. And then the landmarks were wiped out that they put stuff in. There was like a mudslide or something. Mm-hmm. So then like they had no idea where they had left such bejeweled treasures. Mm-hmm.
And then there was that one... maybe that was a different situation. I think it had to do with like government territory or something where they these people found gold somewhere in Arizona, I want to say, and it was like a husband and wife. I remember this one particularly because I've seen it a couple of times, and then also because the reenacting woman who is in the couple, she is just so boisterous. Like, it was like she missed out on her opportunity to play like the unsinkable Molly Brown or something, and she was just so over the top. But anyway, so this couple, like, they had discovered this gold in a part of the mountain, and they had already like removed some and like taken they had wanted to get permits to remove more of it, I guess, or something.
I kind of remember this one too, yeah.
And then like the government was like, no, we're stepping in, and she's like, this is ours.
This is our gold.
But I think the man of the couple, he ended up like burying treasure like around different places, if I recall, or mixing up two different stories and putting them together.
That could be,
that's
too.
also possible.
It's an unsolved mystery right now. I don't know if which one's real.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I do kind of recall that one about the government stepping in or whatever conspiracy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. If you have treasure, why not just take it to the bank and get a safe deposit box? Like, why bury it? Like, I wouldn't want to bury something in public where someone could potentially stumble upon it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it was buried, 90 years ago, when the Great Depression was about to hit, and people took all their money out of the banks and everything, and they were like, I need to put the safe, but under my mattress isn't safe enough. And so they went and buried it in the woods somewhere. No, it was only 10 years ago. So it was a treasure that was lost for 10 years.
That's true. You're right.
It.
Yeah, because sometimes I think with this stuff too, it's like maybe it's too heavy to move. Like, you have it, like you discover it, but you can't really easily move it either.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why some of the stuff gets lost. But
also, go ahead. I was going to say, like, a modern day treasure 10 years ago.
What would be a modern day treasure from 10 years ago? Maybe it's not something heavy gold.
It's a Bitcoin.
It's one tiny Bitcoin worth $20 million. the only person who made money off Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And they lost it. What a fool.
What a fool. Maybe it's that piece of toast that has Jesus on it.
It's a treasure chest of oddities like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
The potato chip shaped like Bob Hope.
Yeah.
Jesus on a toast.
Uh-huh.
That sounds like a weird diner slang, doesn't it? Like, yeah, one Jesus on toast. One Bob Hope potato chip.
Do you think Jesus on toast is like wine and bread?
It's like grape
wine soaked bread.
It's grape jam on unleavened bread.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah,
I'll have that.
So it's very similar.
Delicious.
It's also sopping wet from the water to wine.
That's so upsetting.
Yeah, it didn't quite
hard pass.
Metamorphosize the right way.
Gross.
Well, you can't get it all right all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Kevin. So one of these is real.
These are tough.
Thank you.
These are all strange tales. So we have the Norwegian hot spring that changes color, the soul-searching hiker, and the 10-year-old treasure chest. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with the treasure chest as being the real story.
Really?
Yeah.
You're right. That's the one.
So
that's the real one.
Well,
I'm such a sore loser.
I know, we didn't lose anything. These are all very...
There's a winning and a losing.
There is not.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, so this is a real headline.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So this is from people.com. Treasure chest hidden 10 years ago and said to be worth millions is finally found. At least 5 people have died over the last decade while searching for the real-life treasure hidden on the west coast of the United States.
Oh, wow.
The search for a chest filled with gold and jewels, said to be worth millions, has finally come to an end, author Forrest Fenn has announced. Back in 2010, Fenn announced that he had buried a box containing gold coins, emeralds, diamonds, and other gems in the Rocky Mountains, leaving only a few cryptic clues leading to its location. A map and a poem in his self-published autobiography, The Thrill of the Chase. Though he never announced how much the treasure was worth, others have estimated it at a value between $1 million and $5 million, according to CNBC. The only other hints given by Fenn was that the chest was somewhere between Santa Fe and the Canadian border at the elevation of 5,000 feet. Now, 10 years after sparking the chase, he says the box has been recovered. I can confirm it has been found, Fenn, an 89-year-old art and antiques dealer from New Mexico, told Today. It was found by a man back east, but he's shy. He doesn't want his name released.
That man was Nicolas Cage.
He's so good at solving puzzles. Fenn hasn't revealed the exact location of the chest, but he told a website dedicated to the search that his poem is what helped the man make the life-changing discovery.
You know what's really weird is the poem started out with Hickory Dickory Dock. Isn't that weird?
So weird.
It's very simple, but it worked.
It was under a canopy of Hickory Dickory Dock. It was under a canopy of stars in the lush forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains and had not moved from the spot where I hid it more than 10 years ago, he wrote on the website. I did not know the person who found it, but the poem in my book led him to the precise spot. He confirmed the discovery by asking the man to send him a photograph of the chest. Fenn told people in 2016 that he buried the riches to get people out into nature and to give the working class Americans a chance to change their lives if they were successful in the hunt. I've had so much fun over the last 75 years looking for arrowheads and fossils and strange things out in the forests along the riverbanks. Why not give the others an opportunity to do the same thing, he said. But the search for Fenn's treasure has seen some controversy. At least 5 people have died in the search of the legendary box, with the latest death coming in March of this year when a 58-year-old man was found dead near Dinosaur National Monument on the border between Colorado and Utah. It's tragic and heartbreaking that some searchers have been lost while they looked for my treasure, Fenn told people after the death was announced. I didn't anticipate that happening. When asked if he would consider removing the treasure following the deaths, Fenn said he wouldn't. Searchers have spent money and vacation time looking for the treasure, and I don't feel I could do that, even if I wanted to. I certainly did not anticipate anyone was going to get killed, but I answered those people this way. If a hunter goes into the mountains looking for deer and is lost, does that mean we should stop deer hunting? If someone drowns in a swimming pool, should we drain the pool or should we teach people to swim? This guy seems like a real tool.
Yeah, he seems like a real dick.
Real dick.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like it's like very like he comes up with like this like nice like, I just want people to go out there and find this great treasure so they can be in touch with nature, but then he's like,
I don't care if you die. It's not my fault.
It sounds very self-serving. It's not about. It doesn't sound like it's about helping others or helping them. It's very self-serving. It's like, oh, look at all this publicity I'm getting.
Right. I'm writing a book and selling it,
displacing the blame for the deaths of people who have died. Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah, this guy's kind of a dick.
I think he's kind of a tool. Yeah.
Or maybe we've just been watching a lot of The Good Place, so we've really started to look at things very differently.
That could be
when
too.
It comes to motivations of doing good things.
That is true, and that's a great show, by the way, available now on Netflix.
We're a big fan of Mike Schur.
It's very good. It's very funny. Well, Tiffany, that was really great. What a great show.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Great headlines there. We had some fun. We had some big laughs. What more could you ask for, quite frankly?
Nothing.
And if you want to hear more from us, you can check us out at fakeheadlinespodcast.com. There's all of our old episodes there. You can also go to Apple Podcasts and search Fake Headlines Podcast.
And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and hitting the 5 stars and leaving us a nice little review. You don't even have to say anything, but if you do, that's always really nice. Yeah. We like to see that. But
just click on the stars, man. Just give us a nice rating. It helps us. It just helps us grow.
It helps us grow. It helps people notice us more, and that's pretty cool. I mean, it's really exciting to know that our stupid little voices here in Buffalo, New York, reach all the way across the world, all the way into Australia and New Zealand and
Malaysia
and India and all over
UK.
Europe, and it's just really, really
It's
incredible.
wild. And thank you so much.
Yeah, we love it, and it's really neat. What a fun way to connect to people.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as they used to say in Mystery Science Theater, keep circulating the tapes. Meaning, just keep passing the tapes around and get people to watch. And let your friends know, and check us out on social media. Fake Headlines Podcast on both Facebook and Instagram.
And also at FakeHeadPod on Twitter. And you can always email us at fakeheadlinespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Bye.